right. Welcome into the very happy Knicks-Verse. That's right. And I'm happy because I'm happy to report that that guy we just saw drive and dunk is going to be staying with the New York Knicks. Yes, Leon Rose delivered on his intimation that he made during the only interview that he made this season, which he talked glowingly of Mitch, and he basically expressed that he thought Mitch would be back with the Knicks. Well, he did it. He actually did it. We are going to get a sequel to our favorite monster. The Blockness Monster will remain a Knick for the next 4 years. Let's go. Here we go. $60 million for 4 years. We don't have any details yet. It could average to $15 million a year, or, well, it will average to $15 million a year, but it could be a descending contract. There's discussions out there that the Jalen Brunson one is possibly a descending contract, though we still haven't gotten details released yet on that as either. So we got to stay tuned for this. But this is good news. This is very, very good news. And also, one thing to bear in mind, and CBS Sports tweeted this out, that Mitchell Robinson becomes the first Knicks draft pick to sign a multi-year deal, a multi-year contract with New York following his rookie deal since Charlie Ward. So the not jinx because they did it to themselves, but this string of prolonged decades of ineptitude when it comes to draft picks and developing is finally over. They proved it with Mitch, and Mitch deserves this. He's been drastically underpaid for what he's been producing for the past few years. I mean, just 2 seasons ago, he broke Wilt Chamberlain's NBA single season record for field goal percentage when he shot 74.4%. So that's the kind of guy we're talking about here. I am very, very pleased with this deal. Let's look at some tweets. Woj tweeted this out. Free agent center Mitchell Robinson has agreed to a new 4-year, $60 million contract to stay with the New York Knicks. Agents Thad Fuscher and Joe Smith of Wasp Basketball tell ESPN. All right. And here, Ian tweeted this out. Source confirms Knicks and Mitchell Robinson have reached agreement. Toronto had interest in Robinson, but New York Knicks had been confident in past few days that Robinson would be back in New York. Robinson's agents told ESPN new contract is 4 years, $60 million. New York Knicks drafted Robinson with 36th pick in 2018. Tremendous pick, tremendous selection. I was there to watch his first few Summer League games, and you could see it right off the bat that this guy was something different from that center position. Now, he does, basically feast only around a center position. Now, I'm going to show some stats and some comparisons to other young centers in the league to give you guys some perspective on what we're getting back in terms of Mitch Robinson. Now, the majority of the Knicks fan bases are fans of Mitch, I can tell. But there's always a few out there that, they thought maybe we could get better elsewhere. Well, we did add Isaiah Hartenstein, so that's a nice addition, and I'll go into that as well. Mike Vorkunov tweeted this out. Mitchell Robinson's offense is unique. His average shot distance has inched in over his NBA career. He shot 1.5 feet away from the rim as a rookie, a half foot closer than anyone else. And last season, it was 1.2 feet, a foot closer than anyone else. And he has a career 72.2% field goal percentage. He is a special, the guy delivers around the rim. Here's something really interesting about him. He only took 5 non-dunk / layups last season. Everything was a layup or a dunk. Only 5 of them were not that. And those were all hook shots. There were just 5, and he hit all 4. And we've seen him do some little jumpers here and there, and some people are posting it on Twitter. And you just saw him, drive and dunk, which was spectacular. It totally floored everybody. I think the arena went crazy when he did that. We just need more of that. Okay, if you can't be a 3-point threat, at least be a drive and dunk threat. That penetrating threat. That would be something that we haven't seen. Or be nice if you do a little turnaround jumper, or feature the hook shot more. Whatever it is, This is the summer to be working on your offensive toolbox, like I've said many, many times. And now you've got the bag, well deserved. Knicks finally paid the Mitch. Yes, I'm very, very happy about that. There he is. Here, I'm going to show you guys some stats now to compare. Well, here, basically, this is Mitch's shooting overall stats for his career. You can see this is from Cleaning the Glass, and in case you've forgotten, the orange means the highest, the best, blue means the worst. So when you look at his field goal percentage, the field goal percentage, he is constantly in the top 10 percentile. And actually, for the majority of his career, he's been 98, 99 percentile or 100 percentile like he was last season with his field goal percentage of 76.1%. Now, this scrubs out garbage time. So this is true numbers here. His 2-point percentage, 76.1% because he didn't take any three-point shots, and 100 percentile. So he is, I mean, yes, you're sacrificing the three-point shot to being able to stretch the floor, but what he actually gives you is at an elite level. Now, he needs to do it beyond just dunks, as we've been talking about that. But so that's just something to give you. But let's look at some Raptor scores. So this is the defensive Raptor rating and offensive Raptor ratings for Robert Williams III, who's a lot of people compare the two centers. Some people rate Robert Williams a little bit higher than Mitch, but they're in a similar group. Here you can see his offensive Raptor for last season was a plus 0.6. His defensive Raptor was a plus 3. And there he is in the top right quadrant, which is where you want to be. Now let's look at where Mitch is. Mitch is just right below him. Right below him. Offensive Raptor plus 0.5, so just a 0.1 difference between the two. And defensive Raptor plus 2.4. So he's right in the neighborhood there. But let's look at somebody else. Isaiah Hartenstein. Look at that. This, oh, by the way, this has been filtered out to players with 4 years or less. So younger players, 24 years younger, in that range. But it's not by age, it's by career years. So it's from 1 to 4 years. Just to give you perspective, because you can't compare them to more polished centers that have been around for longer. And, guys who just had one season. So this is a good way to look at the situation here. And you can see it that Hartenstein, offensive Raptor, plus 1.2. He's actually better offensively than the other two guys. The defense is lower, but still in the plus column of plus 1.5. So look at this again. Look at Mitch, and there's Robert Williams. This gives you perspective what the Knicks have done at the 5 position. We now have a situation where we have flexibility. When we need some outside shooting and some floor spacing, we go with Hartenstein. When we need that monster presence in the paint, the lob threat, and we have some players on the court, sharing the court with him who can feed him, then you go with Mitch. Now, Mitch is going to start, so that's just the situation. But, he's been better with the foul troubles over the years. His foul troubles have gone down. He started out with, where's my number? Oh, here. His personal fouls. In his rookie year, he averaged 3.3 personal fouls per game. Last season, he averaged 2.7. So he knocked off more than half a foul per game. So he's trending in the right direction in that respect, which is a big positive. Now let's look at something else. Here we go. This is the overall Raptor score that we were just seeing, the combined scores. And this is here. You can see here, all team centers, early career years 1 to 4. Robert Williams is first with a plus 7.7. Brandon Clark of the Grizzlies, who I like very much as well. He's second with a plus 3.0. But look at Mitch right there, third, plus 2.9. And look at Isaiah, plus 2.7. He's fourth, right behind. That's ahead of Jaren Jackson Jr., DeAndre Ayton, Wendell Carter Jr., Daniel Griffith, Mobley, all these guys, Mo Bamba. There he is. We've got 2 of the best young centers in the game now. They're going to be wearing orange and blue next season. And thankfully, Mitch is staying. He's not going anywhere. Because there was a moment there where we were a little bit worried. I could sense out there in the Twitter sphere that people were kind of panicking. Like, why haven't they announced his deal yet? Now let's look at the WAR score, the wins above replacement. There we go. So Jaren Jackson Jr. leaped up to second place here with a 6.2. Robert Williams still leads with a 7.2, but there's Mitch, third. 5.3. You can see when you look at these numbers, because there's other numbers that kind of confuse you that you see out there that you're like, wait a second, Mitch is not even, his defensive rating is low and blah, blah, blah. But these numbers are the true indicators of his impact on a team and in comparison to players that are similar to him. So there he is. He's third, 5.3 wins above replacement. Brandon Clark is fourth, 4.6, I believe. And DeAndre Ayton, 4.0, who's looking for a big max deal. So look at the value that we got. We got tremendous value on this thing with if Mitch is at $15 million per year. And then Isaiah Hartenstein, seventh, with a 3.4 wins above replacement. These, very, very good handling by Leon Rose of the center position. I am very, very happy with what's been done here. Career field goal percentage, like we talked about, was a 72.2%. And his, let me go over here. His free throw percentages, that's the main concern that I have with Mitch. That's what's going to dictate whether he's on the court in crunch time, in tight games that the Knicks, just in crunch time, fourth quarters, because we don't want that, the hack-a-Mitch situation to start happening. So his career average is 48.6%, so less than 50% of his free throws. And the thing is, he's gotten worse every year since his rookie year. His rookie year, he was a 60% free throw shooter. His second year, 56.8%. Then in 2020-21, he dipped below 50% for the first time to 49.1%. And last season was his worst, 48.6%. That's something Mitch has to work on. He has to get that going. It's going to make a world of difference. But even with that, considering that, his true shooting percentage for his career is 72.2%. A league average is 56.6%. Yeah, that is outstanding. So he is almost 16 percentage points better than the league average. We got ourselves a guy. Now, his blocks, I'd like to see those go up. He has a career average of 2 blocks per game. Possibly, last season was a little different. He came in a little heavy, not in full shape. It was also his first season back from his surgery. I expect him to make another leap in terms of just his physicality, his ability to have more endurance. He was gassed a lot. He admitted it himself. I think hopefully he will. Next season is just a matter, it's just logical that he'll just be in better conditioning shape next season because he will have had already 1 year past his surgery. So it's a lot to look forward to here. I believe that Mitch's better days are ahead of him. So I've already said that before about Brunson. I've said that about RJ. I think the Knicks have a team where the young core, the young players are only going to improve. And that's a good thing, a very good thing. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching this. My name is George. And if this is your first time here or you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Let's get to 6,000. We're really close. Hit the thumbs up buttons and turn on notification bell so you know when I drop these videos. And I want to hear your comments. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.